Hey, I'm Steve Davis, Chief Science Officer of the Everglades Foundation. I'm here with Dr. Tom Lodge, my co-author on the 5th edition of the Everglades Handbook. So we now have the 5th edition of the Everglades Handbook. First edition published in 1994. What was it that sort of the spark in your mind that went off that I need to put this all together into an organized book?
So two things started to come together. One, I had as a biologist, had an interest in photography, not really as an art form, but more as an illustration of ecological principles. And that got me more and more into Everglades literature, which at that time, beginning, was scant.
Yeah, I imagine.
But as interest in Everglades restoration grew, I became interested in producing a book that actually started out with Bob Hamer's suggestion of a coffee table book with his pictures and my text.
Yeah.
And because we were both unknown, that project never got going, but I could see that people needed some sort of reference of what is this place?
Yeah.
What does it do? What are the parts?
Yeah.
So I saw the need for what people could carry around as a reference that would identify all these things with a real good index so that you could look up whatever it is that your question was. We've been talking about my involvement in the Everglades Handbook and its history, but looking here at the 5th edition, your name is on it. So my question is, how did you first get involved with the Everglades Handbook?
Well, I say it's hard to believe because I used the first edition when I was in graduate school. It was an important reference for me when I started my PhD in 1995. And so it was an important sort of primer for me to understand the Everglades, how it was structured as a large ecosystem, how it worked historically. And it was an important sort of foundation of knowledge for me to just begin that journey. So, just fast forwarding through those editions, here we are. You mentioned how Everglades restoration was sort of an impetus for developing this handbook, and now we're 23 years post SERP. What do you see in terms of the future of this ecosystem as restoration's proceeding? Well,
There's still a lot of crystal ball work involved in predicting what will happen. But the fact that work on the Tamiami Trail is focused on providing avenues for flow through the system, that flow that has been blocked by the water conservation areas that are all diked. The huge emphasis now on reinitiating the flow pattern, I think, is going to be a key to restoring the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's really the plumbing that we're seeing with the bridges that have been built, the road raising that's going on right now, and the additional small bridges in between. That's really the plumbing to receive the clean water that will come from the EAA reservoir that's under construction now. And you probably recall how important that project was deemed when the plan was being developed, and it's 20-some years later now we're finally seeing it built. And that's why our mantra has been send it south. And obviously we need the infrastructure to store and clean that water so we're not sending polluted water south, but let it flow through this ecosystem where it once went. And we know that we derive so many benefits from that. And a lot of that is encapsulated in here and really goes back to that first edition that described these habitats, that started to make that connection between flowing, clean, fresh water and the health of this ecosystem. So